When most people think of NASA, they think of space. The agency has carried out a variety of tests in the last few decades, easily becoming the most well-known space agency in the world. It's for this reason that many people look up to them, with some even going on to make it their goal to work for the agency in the future. Their years of experience and discoveries have left millions of people speechless. They've taken us one step closer to becoming a spacefaring species, something that many scientists the world over say is our destiny. Interestingly, with all these missions comes thousands of photographs, most of which don't include anything special. But if you spend enough time looking through them, it's said you may spot something mysterious. Amateur researchers have made it their goal to look through these photos to try and find these anomalies. Although this sounds like something that wouldn't get many results, you would be wrong, with many individuals saying that many NASA images contain mysterious objects in the background. It's these photographs that have caused some to question whether we're alone in the universe. One of them was this dark object that could be seen in the corner of an old NASA photograph. This photograph comes from the STS mission, also known as the Space Transportation System. In several of these photographs, these strange-looking objects can be seen close to the space shuttles, causing some to question what these things are. There seems to be no consistency with them, with some being disc-shaped, while others are triangular and pyramid-shaped. One thing that amateur researchers point out though is that they don't look man-made, saying that they don't think these objects are space debris. One UFO researcher said the following about these objects. What's become apparent in recent years is that many UFOs have been sighted in space. The live feeds have given us researchers a great opportunity to scan the area above our planet, and if you look at these for long enough you will likely see something strange. There's been many UFOs that have been seen above our planet, and as many have pointed out before me, to label all of these as space debris is just delusional. They need to be taken more seriously and researched." End quote. There's others who have suggested that these objects might be the infamous Black Knight satellite, a satellite known in UFO circles as allegedly being thousands of years old, and being placed above our planet with the sole purpose of watching humanity. Scientists have said that there's no proof of a Black Knight satellite, and that these are just made-up stories pushed by UFO researchers. They go on to say that what people are seeing is space debris, further saying that the area above our planet is littered with hundreds of satellites and other man-made objects. There's some who say that their trust in NASA has taken a hit in recent years, and this comes after a number of announcements. For example, one of these they point to is the moon footage. One significant mistake made by NASA was losing the original footage of the first moonwalk. NASA officials claim to have searched for these missing tapes since their disappearance. NASA have stated that the tapes were simply misplaced, but many people doubt this due to the vast number of tapes that must have been lost. The question is, how did they lose such valuable tapes? Before the tapes were lost, clips from the footage were broadcast on television. These first steps of man on the moon were an unparalleled achievement in space travel, and therefore it seems unbelievable that these tapes could have been misplaced so easily. Many theories were created regarding the whereabouts of the missing tapes. Some say they were hidden from public for security reasons, others say that they were really lost, and there's also some slightly more complex theories. One of the theories created by a community of people who don't trust the credibility of NASA state that these alleged missing files are hiding something, and so the space agency got rid of any evidence that was on them. However, in recent years these missing tapes were found. It's believed that more than 200,000 tapes of recordings were considered not important by NASA, and were demagnetized to be reused for other occasions, and therefore made their way to an auction. And NASA in turn purchased approximately 65 boxes of these tapes in an auction. Not knowing that the tapes had such important footage on them, The intern planned to sell the tapes on a television station, where they would have been recycled and used for new recordings. However, the intern then noticed a label on the outside of the boxes, identifying them as the Apollo 11 mission. The intern had heard the story of the lost tapes, and therefore found a way to play the tapes in order to identify them. Once they were confirmed as the missing tapes, approximately 2.5 hours of footage was recovered. As of right now, UFO researchers and scientists are at a standoff. One side firmly believes that these objects need to be investigated, while the other side states that there's no proof that these are intelligent objects. UFO believers hit back these claims though and state that in some cases these objects can be seen changing direction, and sometimes they can be seen speeding off at speeds that humans would never be able to match. It seems that all the time strange objects are being detected on live cams, there will always be those that will want further research to be done. One UFO researcher said the following: "The reason many UFO researchers believe that these objects are real is because of how NASA acts. When these objects come into view, the live cams are suddenly shut off. I think that if it wasn't for them doing this, people wouldn't be so interested. But because they get shut off almost immediately, it makes us question why they do this. What are they trying to hide that they'll go to the lengths of shutting down the cameras? More investigations need to be made into this phenomena." End quote. Going back a few days ago, a rare blue moon could be seen. This was the first time in 70 years that it landed on Halloween. It was the second full moon to happen in 1 month, meaning it got labelled as a blue moon. Interestingly, it was actually a mix-up that happened in 1999 that got it this name. The term blue moon was actually meant to refer to the third full moon in a calendar month, but the label continues today. Regardless, it's still quite rare for this to happen twice in a month, and what's even rarer is for one of these to happen on Halloween. The last time this happened was back in 1944. During these events, many people point their cameras and telescopes towards the moon. Interestingly though, some people capture more than what they intended, and this was the case for one person that captured the moon in Birmingham. However, when looking back at their image, they noticed that it contained something strange. They soon shared their image online where various people gave their opinions on what they thought it could be. The person behind the photograph said the following: "This photograph was captured above Birmingham in England. As with most people, I looked out for the moon as it was a blue moon. I have a Canon camera and a low-budget telescope, so I decided to get both out for the occasion. After snapping several dozen photographs, I then went in to review them. However, on one of them I noticed 4 lights sitting close to the moon. I'm not sure what they are, and I didn't see them as when I was taking the photographs. I was looking at the camera screen and I think they would have been too small to pick up. Regardless, I have no idea what they are, and I'm interested to see what people make of them." End quote. Various users gave their opinions on the photograph, with one man saying the following: "I'm someone who does a lot of astrophotography, and one of the issues is that you can get light interference. However, when you're taking photographs of something big such as the moon, this isn't so much of an issue. The moon is one of the easiest things to photograph in the night sky because it's so big. Although you can sometimes get the odd light, you never normally see 4 in a line like this. Very strange." End quote. Others went down the route of suggesting that what the person captured was an unidentified flying object, with this person saying the following: "I've seen many different photographs that show similar things. I don't think these are natural, but rather come under the category of UFOs. These shaped crafts are commonly seen on Earth, and various amateur photographers have captured similar looking objects." End quote. As UFO researchers have pointed out in the past, the moon is actually one place where many alleged UFOs have been captured. with researchers saying that there's more going on around our moon than what we're being told. Scientists and researchers though have spoken out and said this isn't the case, and these strange lights are most likely debris on the camera, or lights coming from a different source. Amateur researchers have hit back at these claims though, and go into detail that places like the Moon and the International Space Station are actually hotspots for UFOs. For those that are unaware, the International Space Station has a variety of cameras to monitor spacewalks, and other areas that need to be under 24-hour surveillance. This has allowed the agency to play live footage on internet shows, websites, live television broadcasting and so on, and this is to help build up an interest in space. Recently there have been numerous events where footage of strange objects can be seen floating in the distance, and this has led many to believe that it's extraterrestrial in origin. After such incidents are spotted, the footage will later be removed or edited. The live feed will be cut or the entire incident will be completely ignored by NASA. One incident happened back in 2014, and amateur researchers have said it's some of the best evidence they have of a UFO in space. The object could be seen on one of the live cams. Many people across the world were watching on this particular occasion. However, something they couldn't explain was the strange object that quickly made itself known. The object appeared to be sleek and orange in colour. After only a few seconds, those watching the live feed said it docked onto the International Space Station, and shortly after it did this the live cams were shut down, with those watching the event saying that all they could now see was a blue or purple screen. Interestingly, many who watch the live cams have said this is a common occurrence when an unidentified flying object is seen in the background. Others have even said that NASA themselves sometimes zoom in to get a better look at the object, but after determining that it's not part of any spacecraft they quickly shut off the cameras. It's this type of activity that's caused some to believe that there could be mysterious objects visiting our planet. The object that could be seen at the International Space Station wasn't there very long before the live cams were shut off. Since then it hasn't been seen since, but this was enough for people as they were able to take screenshots of the strange looking object. After this, various people started to give their ideas on what they thought the object was. One individual suggested they were looking at a genuine UFO, and that NASA were not quick enough to shut off the cameras on this occasion, leaving all those who tuned in to see the object very clearly. Astronomers have said these objects can be explained using everyday things, but people have struggled to explain some of the objects that seem close to the International Space Station, with amateur researchers saying that some of these are definitely not space debris, with one UFO researcher saying the following: "I understand that some of these objects can be explained as space debris, and that makes sense, but it's obvious that some of these are not space debris. Also, if this was the case, why does the space station cameras shut off when they come into view? If they were just space debris, why shut down the live feed? It's this kind of behaviour that makes people question these objects." End quote. So what do you make of these mysterious objects seen close to our moon? Do you think they're just camera anomalies, or do you think this person accidentally captured an unidentified flying object? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.